Hey everyone, I'm sorry I'm late, it's only a few minutes though. I was in the makeup room, they put no makeup on me to make sure that I look nice, and I look no different. Anyway, I've got great guests on tonight, really have. All we'll be talking about is football. All we'll be talking about is this fella, Richard Hughes, the man to do the job, is he? And this other fella, his mate he was bringing in. So this is what you've got. You've got this kind of uh, you can't call it nepotism really because that's family. But you've got jobs for the boys, jobs for the because this Richard Hughes, he's bringing his mate from Bournemouth. So we'll be discussing that, and Michael Edwards, obviously. So we'll be talking about them. As I said, I've got some fantastic lads on tonight, really good lads. They'll be talking everything. I've got one fella named Fozzie. I was on his pod the other night. He's good, this fella. They're all good. They're all good. I've got to be honest. And there's Chris Dix. Now, I know Chris. He's all the way from Montenegro. He's a Scouser, but he's been living in Montenegro for years. And he said to me, "Listen, Frank, get over here. Not to live like, but get over there." And so I might go over this year. Actually, I might take a little holiday over in Montenegro. I'm looking at a cruise as well. So there you go. There you go. But he says anyway. Wishes to connect to your next Tuesday. Best wishes, Chris. Best wishes, Chris. I don't do those 36-hour journeys to Anfield anymore, but still heavily involved in all things Liverpool. Of course you are, Chris. You can't get away from your roots. Never. And keep it real. What's happening, Frank, mate? A lot's happening. A lot, Chris. A lot's happening, real. A lot. And TW, even a Frank, you legend. Oh, thank you. I do appreciate that. I think he likes me makeup. And Ian McHale. Now then, Scouts comrades, another pod for the mighty Reds. Absolutely. And look at all them pints and comes up and big arms, like this. Yeah, that's us. That's us, lads. Wait till you see me guest on now. Ian McHale, even a Frank and chat. Lovely fella here. Daniel Merry as well. He couldn't make it on tonight. Evening all as well. I got a Paulie boy was going to be on tonight. Gutted. I hope he gets. Better. Young Guston. And as Chris says, cronyism. Absolutely, there is cronyism, and there's our fuzzy here. I all hope everyone is good. Ian McHale. Evening, Daryl. Hope he is feeling better soon. Isn't that nice? There's the lovely Jean. And she says, "Great evening to you, Frank Carlyle, panel and chat. 100%. Big heart for Frank. Big praise and everything else. And I hope all are well." Yes. I've got so. Evening, Frank and guest so far as well, and getting over last weekend, says Arthur Schofield. Don't want to get over last weekend, but we do move on. Never forget, Man United can never move on from the 5-0 drubbing at Trafford, and also the 7-0 drubbing that they got here at Anfield. What? Getting beat by the odd goal, and we gave it to them, to be honest. And big up JK, says keep it real. And this lad, Druv Cosmic Carner. Big up, Frank. Big up, JK.
That's my bro.
It's like, I tell you what, JK, it's like, what's his name? Herbert Lom's brother. Herbert Lom's brother. It's absolute. But I've just got to. John Conway. Hi, Frank. Hiya, John. I hope you're well. I'm going to bring on my guest as soon as there's the Anfield Road. He's brought me to. Oh, look at this. Look, he's got all these little kisses and everything else for Gene. And all look, little chinks as well. Little chinky glasses. Do keep it real. Hello, Jean, the Queen. This is great. I'm going to bring on my guest now. I'm going to start with the Fozzy, and there he is. He's a good lad, this fella. He's a good lad. And there he is. Hey, Foz, you okay?
What's going on, Frank? JK, all good, all good. Thanks for the invite, by the way. I appreciate that.
No,
easy, bro.
It's good. It's good. It really is.
Nice to see you.
Yes, obviously. And I've got Lee Carlson. And Lee is, he's a great talker, isn't he? One of the best talkers on the planet. And there he is. Hey, Lee.
Getting good billing there, aren't I? One of the best talkers. I do rattle on endlessly and ruthlessly.
You haven't stopped. See, everyone, like Fozzy went, good evening, thank you for having me on. You go on and on and on. Even JK's laughing. And it's very rare that he laughs. Very rare that JK laughs. Well, I'm bringing this other fine. No, bringing this other fine fellow on anyway, and it's there he is. Keep it real, not keep it real. I'm sorry, it's 12th man. Where is he? I'm just thinking him off. There he is. There he is. So listen, lads. It's great to have you on. It really is, and you're wonderful people. You know your football. You're all big reds, and I have to say, 12th man last night. I was on this pod. Oh, Lord. It was one of the other. It wasn't a quiz or anything. It was like, who's a cult hero, but not like the status of a cult? The likes of Steven Gerrard or any of them, Fernando Torres. Right. And we had to go through, and Igor Biscan was getting mentioned. Verona was getting mentioned.
You know what? Igor Biscan is kind of a hero, because if you look at that 2005 run, he was an integral part of us winning it. You remember Deportivo away, the way he performed? We got that win against Deportivo, so he was an integral part of the team. So, yeah, he is.
I'm taking Fuzzy off now because he's gone against the rules. Where is he? He's gone. There he is now. No, the thing is, you see, 12th man came out with a smashing, like an example. And he said, Divock Origi. Now, Divock Origi, albeit that he's a legend in his, in his own right, but he wasn't up there with the likes of Steven. No. He wasn't up there with the likes of the lads today, like Virgil, the likes of Alisson. The likes of Salah, he's not up. To see what I mean? So he's way down, but he is still a cult figure. Yeah. But it was very hard. But that's how, this is how. I'm sorry to go on about it, but
no, it was cool.
It was a good show.
Top show.
Yeah, I appreciate you joining. I appreciate you joining, Frank, immensely. I mean, you brought a lot of knowledge. You brought some cult heroes from the 70s out, which was really, really cool. And it helped broaden the scope of the show. Yeah. It was just more of like an appreciation for some of these players that brought like maybe individual moments, but not necessarily are legends in their own rights, in the sense of like they have like world-class legendary status.
Yeah, let me throw a legendary moment in. Anthony Latala flicking it to flicking it to Luis Garcia to score against back in 2005. Remember?
Sure.
Well, the thing is, he was picked last night. He was picked last night.
All hero.
Ian McCain says Titi Kamara up front swell.
Yeah, I know.
Titi Kamara.
Mate, I
got a little coerced into that one.
You know what?
It's
I like
okay.
Titi Kamara. I didn't mind Titi Kamara. I think that's a cult hero.
I like
I was just going to say, and that's what's great about the cult hero, at least from the status that we were trying to gauge it under, was that it's nice to remember some of these names, some of these guys that, might not necessarily be the well-known names, especially outside of the fan base. So, like, these names are certainly people that, like, touched our hearts in one way or another, whether it was individual moments or maybe it was just their individual character. All these things are important, and I think that's why I wanted to do this show, because I enjoy those kinds of players on the team.
You're 100% right, because you got to think about it in a way. When the club was in a Barrett years, those players are the ones who stepped up and even made us appreciate the club even more. You know what I mean? Because we wasn't like winning titles, but they were there. Like giving it their all as well. Like if you look at Titi Kamara's, like he said, Letelek, and players like that. Igor Bishkan, although he's not a cult hero, but he did play his part. You know what I mean? In that 2005. There's so many players you could talk about. So many players.
Igor got on that banner, didn't he? Remember, Super Croat Igor Biscan used to be atrocious doing a play on the old, the what's the name in it? Supercalifragilistic. Super Croat.
Another one you could mention
was the banner.
100%.
See, he hasn't finished.
Sorry, my bad.
It's all right. Well, there was that, and I loved the banners. But the ones that I remember from when I was a kid were the funny ones. There was one that said, Big Ron Atko's long leather, because he used to wear, Ron Atkinson, when he was Man United manager, used to wear this long leather jacket, like a brown one or a black one, and some scouts wag had put Big Ron Atko's long leather on him. Like, what? And some of my favourite songs when I was a kid, they are a bit vulgar, but they were all about Man United. There was MANUTD, Brian Robson's Got VD. So the idea of the Man United captain and England captain having venereal disease, I thought was hilarious when I was about 10 or 11. There's another one about Ray Wilkins, the Man United midfielder. Now, I'm not endorsing it, but it said he's bald, he's bent, his arse is up for rent. Ray Wilkins. And I'm not saying I laughed. Well, I did, because I was 10. 10-year-olds tend to laugh at that when it's the opposition player. But I'm no homophobe, told you. I've had gays after me loads, mate. Gays are always after me. Not always, but a lot, like, I don't mind it. I think it's...
Where we go? Just stick to Tracy. Just stick to Tracy. Just stick to Tracy.
Don't. Oh, blimey.
Crazy thing.
God, blimey. Right, I'm gonna. Yeah, look, there's Grumpy. There's Raza Flowers with his fancy new hairstyle.
Do you know what? I haven't had a fringe since I was about 18. I haven't had a fringe, so I'm just having a side. It's an experiment. It's going this, and it's going to be much longer, covering my forehead to craftily cover up like wrinkle lines and that, so I can blag my age a bit better. And it's going a shocking blonde. Yeah, here's the colour I'm doing it. Schwarzkopf, silver blonde. And it's going to be dead light. And then you won't see the grey when it's going grey, mate.
He's getting paid to do the web advert. He's getting paid to do one advert. He's like, there's loads of middle-aged men on that show. Just plug this. Plug this for us.
You know what? I don't need to dye my hair because I've only got a couple of greys, but I want it.
It looks good though, bro.
I want to sex it up because I've got a Swedish surname, so I should have blonde hair on my... And see what the women
did a good job. You did a good job.
Right, okay.
He took 20 years off you, Lee.
Well, thank God he's gone. You know, he normally gets up and goes away and gives us all a break. Yeah, okay. Right, so I'm going to ask you, lads, and this is 12th man's fault. Right? This is the 12th fault. I'm going to ask you, you know, the way the 12th asked about these cult figures, but not real cult figures up there as, you know, the cult. As a great example, Steven Gerrard. I want you to name a team going back, proper cult that everybody loved. We all loved, right? But it's got right up to the present day, going back, if you can, boys, if you can, going back to 1980. Who's your team? And I want the lads on here as well and the girls to name their little. I'm just going to name the goalkeeper first. So listen there, chat. You know, I'm going to name the goalkeeper. Who would you have in goal from 1980 to the present day? Nobody else, just the goalkeeper, because we'll go through the, the different positions. Okay, so I'll start with. I'm going to start with you, 12th. You have, from 1980 to the present day in goal.
So we're just talking about cult heroes, or about like as in like the way that I was looking at it, or the way that you look at it, as in like Gerrard and like that status.
Just the way you look at it. Just the way you look at it. You don't mention any other player. Outfield player, just a goalkeeper, because I'll be going around them. You see.
From my history, yeah. I was going to say, from my history of watching the team, I probably would say Pepe Reina would be like possibly the choice I would take at goalkeeper. He was like very, very symbolic for, the goalkeeper that I like exemplified when I was growing up, like as into like, kind of be the kind of model that I wanted to put myself into when I was growing up as a goalkeeper.
Okay, so it'd be your goalkeeper, and now don't forget.
Oh, well, no, I mean, if I was picking I'd pick Ali. Ali's like my choice if I was going to pick any.
Okay, no, this is what I'm saying. We're going to pick the best players.
Oh, the best players. Okay, yeah, certainly Ali. Ali.
Yeah,
Ali.
From 1980 to the present.
I thought you meant from.
Okay,
no, hero kind of thing. Yeah.
No. Okay. Yeah, got you.
No,
I'd pick Ali then, for sure.
All right, and Lee, just the goalkeeper.
Do you know what I want to say before I pick the goalkeeper? Bruce Grobbelaar broke my heart because I loved Bruce. And I reckon he did take money. I reckon he let goals in at the end when we were crap. He did. He forgave money. He met a fake sheikh and they had him. And fake sheikh. He got fake sheikh like Allardyce, Fozzie. It was dead funny, mate. Bruce getting fake sheikh. But I loved him before he done that.
I love Bruce.
Anyway, where was my cult goalie? I'll pick like a reserve one from Steve Agrinovich.
No, Lee, you haven't been listening again. You never listen. Do you? You never listen.
Sorry.
Okay, listen carefully.
Yeah.
Do you know what? When I was teaching, I used to, lecture. I used to talk about the indigenous American, native that is. And how they used to catch eagles. How they used to catch eagles, because they used to put them in the hair to say, like, I've caught an eagle. Well, and let it go. And they used to pull a feather out and put it in the back.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant, that.
Well, can I finish, Lee? Let me finish. That's all. Because you make me lose my train of thought. What it is, how they used to do sign language. They couldn't make any noise whatsoever in the areas, catching in the nest, that is. And they used to use a sign called Makaton. It's like a form of, what they do today, the people who can't hear or speak. Anyway, they used to tell it. Now, if I could do Makaton and you could understand it, Lee, you might understand, you know what I mean? Now, all we're doing is picking the best team from 1880 to the present day. So the first thing is you've got to think of a goalkeeper who's the best goalkeeper. You could say Bruce Grobbelaar if you want. You could say anybody. You could say Pepe Reina.
It's Ray
You see what I
Clemens.
mean? So,
It's Ray
go on.
Clemens. It's Raymond Clemens. He was the
Ray
number
Clemens.
one. Yeah, he was our goalie when I started supporting Liverpool.
And what year was that?
1980.
Okay. Are you sure that he was here with us in 1980?
Yeah, it was there, Frank. It was.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I'm just making sure because I seen him in Rome twice. Not Rome twice. Rome and Paris. Anyway, okay. Right to you, Fozzie. Who's your best goalkeeper? You know, from that era.
I love Ray Clemens. I love Ray Clemens. Just before he died, I messaged him and he responded to me. So I love Ray Clemens. But yeah, Alisson, because it's the longevity, since I could remember football. So I say Alisson is the goalkeeper. It's the best one.
JK.
Straight up, Alisson, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see what our lads say.
Can I just lob in on the end of my bit that if Ali's to beat Clem to the number one spot, he's got to win some more Champions Leagues with us before he goes, and more leagues. He can't beat Clem with one of each. Just ain't possible there.
Okay. Some crackers here. Some whoppers. Bunkers says Sander Westerveld. I think he's going back to a cult fellas down there. Sander Westerveld. I met him in I met him in Costco one day. Yeah, well, he was playing for Liverpool. I went, I like Sander. He went, hello. And I said, what are you doing here? He said, it's a very reasonable priced. That's what he said. You're a footballer, you're a millionaire.
Sander was a bit thrifty, was he?
Was he what?
A bit thrifty.
I don't know. He must have been. He was with his wife, and a couple of kids.
Sander had cut some tokens vouchers out the newspaper.
Like that bird says, Darryl, Frank said goalie, not the whole team. Get with the program, mate. I understand, 12th man, how difficult it must have been for you to listen to us last night. Trying to pick our cold heroes. Anyway, all right, so Darryl says Alisson. Bonkers Pepe Reina. And Anfield Road, David James or Alisson for me.
David James?
A real nice guy, he said when he met David James. But we're not coming in for nice people. We're coming in for the best. So Anfield, come on. Come on, play the game. Bonkers Pepe Reina. I only want one goalkeeper. You can't be saying Pepe Reina and Enrique Rams or what about David, Westerveld and just one goalkeeper. John Conway. Yeah, look, John Conway. Grobbelaar for me. Arthur Schofield. Ray Clemens for me. And Ian McHale. Ian McHale, Alison Becker, right, and John Conway, Grobbelaar, Lisa. Lisa was on. She was getting some stick last night. I'm not talking about on the. And she was coming out with some fantastic comments. By the way, she's a proper red, and I admire. I really admire you, Lisa. For what you were doing and what you're commenting on, and I totally agree with you. And there was no names, but I'm 110% behind you, Lisa. 110. So as she says, Lee said, is Allison and Derek Serrat. Look, Tommy Lawrence. I know Tommy. Well, I didn't know him. He's gone. Anyway, you can't.
What are you laughing at? Are you imagining what supermarket Sandra Westerveld was in? Or are you imagining him doing an advert for Lidl with John Cleese or something, and someone throws him in a
I
beans?
wasn't imagining that.
He's got his rolling gloves on and he goes, "You can catch a tin of beans for 9p at Aldi." Sorry.
Here we go. Right, all right. I'm going to stay with you, Lee.
Frank, are you doing
You're
that?
right back. You're right back. And the chat as well. Now, don't forget, this is, from 1980 up till the present day, who's the best right back that you've seen, who you'd pick in your all-time greats from 1980 to 2024?
Do you have to have seen the right back in the supermarket buying discount goods?
I'll take it off, Lee.
All right, sorry. I'll shut up about that now.
So go on. Who's your right back?
Oh, me. I'll go Steve Nicol. I love Steve Nicol. He was my era, Steve Nicol.
Okay, you've had some heroes, you. Okay, Steve Nicol. Okay, Buzz.
I stick with Steve Nicol as well. I love
Steve Nicol.
Yeah.
Steve Nicol. Okay, JK.
I'll go Trent.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd go for Allison right in goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd go for, and you people should be ashamed of yourselves, I'd go for Phil Neal, the most decorated Liverpool player. The most decorated Liverpool player ever. Right? Okay. So, Phil Neal. Who does our lads? They'll all be coming on saying Phil Neal now. Let's see.
He was right back when I started watching them, but I was too little to get on it. I didn't suss footy out until later when we done the double under Kenny. That's when I sussed footy out. Before that, I just knew what it was. I was more into me toys before I was 10. You know what I mean? I was into Star Wars figures and games, video games that kids play.
Do you know what? Yeah, look at that. Anfield also, he's giving me their names, Lisa. But yeah. Phil Neal says the lad there, CW. Anfield Raw. Phil Neal. And the drunk says, no one can compete against Frank on all this history, bro. Thanks a lot. Yeah, there's a good one, boys. Bonkers, I don't want the left back yet, mate. Rob Jones says Brian Morrissey. Hiya, Brian.
Another one from my era, Rob Jones. When I say my era, I mean when I was young.
Listen, let me get through these. I've got to go through this bloody thing. Phil Neal, Redbird says Rob Jones, Stevie Finnan, Daryl Merry. Well, I can't. I'm not going to go to that. I'm being honest. Love Trent. Where was that? Oh, love Trent. But Jamie C would have to get it. He's not a right back. He's a centre back, isn't he? Really. So JK, can you bring Kate Mack up? Is JK
Yeah,
there?
so 1 second.
Okay. Okay. Keep it real. Same here. Phil Neal. Arthur Schofield. Phil Neal. I don't remember Phil Neal, says G. Never mind. All right. I'm starting with you, JK. You're centre half. You're right.
Okay.
Centre back. Yeah.
Alan Hansen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alan Hansen. Buzz.
Same. Alan Hansen, yeah.
12th.
So I didn't really get to see much of Alan Hansen play, but I do know of his legend. I mean, the same goes for Phil Neal too. I didn't really get to see much of Phil Neal play per se, but Sammy Hippie is a good shout too. But it's the right center back you're asking for, right?
Yeah. Right centre back.
I'll go. If I'm going right center back, I'd go Hippia then.
Hey.
So Hippia.
Okay. Lee.
Well, Alan Hansen and Sammy Hippie both played left centre-back for Liverpool. Hansen always played left centre-back. Phil Thompson was the right-hand centre-back. And then it was Mark Lawrenson. So Hansen's a no for me on the right centre-back. Played left centre-back.
Okay. Who are you picking?
I'm going to pick Mark Lawrenson for right centre-back.
See, the two centre-backs, you know. And I was on LFC TV and they asked me to pick, right through. And I said, well, Lawrenson and Hansen were the finest centre-backs ever. That's what I said at the time.
You both have pure pace.
So, you can either pick Hansen or Lawrenson. It makes no difference. These are centre-backs, okay? So, who are you picking? I'll tell you what. Just pick your two centre-backs.
Yeah.
From 1980 to the present day.
It's Lawrenson and Hansen for me. We bought Lawrenson in 1981. So it's Lawrenson at the right centre-back where he played and Hansen at the left centre-back. I don't think Hansen ever played right centre-back for us once. And I don't think Phil Thompson, Sammy Hippie ever did, because Honcho and Carragher played right centre-back with Sammy. They were both left centre-backs, although they were right-footed. The two of them were right-footed, but were very comfortable. So you can't be putting them at right. It's like putting...
all right. You're just picking two centre-backs. That's all you're picking. God, blimey, Lee, you're going on. You're doing it, honest to God, honestly, you're going on. Look at him. I'll take it off. Anyway.
You got to put them in there. You got to play players.
What are the rules? What are the rules, Frank? And I'll give you like my goalkeeper, right back, and my centre back.
From 1980. Okay. Yeah. From 1980. Who's your best goal? Who would you pick for the all-time greats from 1980 to the present day? The best Liverpool team, right?
Okay,
the goalkeeper. We picked the goalkeeper, and we picked the right back. Now we're picking the two centre backs.
So Clemens, this is the 80s. So like just the best players. Clemens.
No. It's from the 80s. This is what I'm saying. From 1980 to the present day.
Oh, to the present day. Oh God.
Yeah, right up to the present day.
Ali. It's got to be Ali. And he hasn't won as much as Clemens, but he's just a better goalkeeper because he can do much more. If you put Ali in that era, he'd still be good. Right back, it's got to be Trent. It's got to be Trent.
No.
Even at the age of 25, he's still done so much. Like Phil Neal was incredible, though. Like, Phil Neal was incredible, but I didn't see a huge amount of Phil Neal.
Well, the thing is, you see, people were, the majority picked Phil Neal.
Yeah.
I seen Phil Neal play. I've seen him play in European Cup finals. I've seen him in Rome when he took a penalty. And I was talking to Phil on LFC TV. I was on with him a few times. And I said to him, taking that penalty. And he said to me, I didn't know what corner I was going to put it in until I kicked it.
Wow.
That's what he said.
Remember that penalty as well.
Unbelievable.
I mean, just in my time, like I used to like best players that I seen. Like, Rob Jones was unbelievable, like so underrated.
People picked him as
Stevie Finnan was sensational as well.
Yeah.
Trent just does it all, like, and I've seen Trent a number of times as well.
Robin, how does Germany always win big trophies? Germany by having defenders that took good penalties like Bremer, Beckenbauer. Who's the other? All their defenders took pens, and when it went to pens, Germany won always because their defenders all took pens. So Phil Neal taking pens was good because of them with more defenders.
Like Jamie Carragher was good, but he wasn't the best.
You're right.
Like, he played a lot of games, but we didn't win a lot with him. If that makes sense, it's a bit of a weird one. It's got to be.
Well, the best game he ever played was in Istanbul.
I mean, the reason I say Trent, Verge, and Ali is I reckon they could have played in the 80s, because they got the capabilities, especially Verge. Like I think Verge could play in any timeline. He's just that good. Yeah, I've got to say those three. I do like Hippier though. I do like Hippier.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. So. Right.
Boring. I'm boring here. Sorry.
So, who you pick? I'm only asking. Who are you picking for your two centre backs?
Hippier and Verge.
Oh no.
Hippier and Verge.
You big fellas. Okay.
Big lads. 12. You can score.
Can I ask you playing which size out of them two?
No.
God, no. They're just playing.
Lee, we're just picking two bloody. Do you know what? It's
important. It's like that's important, mate.
No,
is Rob Jones playing?
Lee, it doesn't matter, mate. It doesn't matter. Like you got to pick the best players, isn't it? It's picking the best players.
Blimey. I'm trying to get through the bloody team, and you're arguing. It's going on
for me.
I could have got a team, trained them, and won a Champions League and a Premier League by now. Come on, man.
Exactly. So I'm going to ask the 12th man, please. Pick your two centre backs, just the two.
What's my centre backs? So if I can't pick Hippie out of play. The only reason why I picked Virgil van Dijk, definitely. That's the greatest center back I've seen in my lifetime.
Okay.
And then if I was going to pick a pairing with them that had to play, I guess, right center back, that does play right center back, maybe I would say Daniel Agger then maybe or something, probably be my choice. I didn't watch Liverpool in the 80s, so that's why I'm saying I know the history of it, but some of the players in that era I'm not like I didn't grow up on. So but the 90s and 2000s and and the 2010s and that's the eras that I know of really well. So I would say either Daniel Agger, because I love Skirtle, I love Agger, as those were like my favorite, some of my favorite center backs.
Okay.
So I'll go VVD.
Okay, no, that's cool. Okay, Lee, who's your two centre backs?
Told you. It's Lawrence and Hansen, isn't it?
Okay, thank you. That's all I needed. Boss.
DVD and Hansen. That's my 2 centre backs.
Yeah.
Stevie J.
No,
Did you
DVD.
say?
Virgil
Oh,
van Dijk.
DVD.
I'm sorry.
He's a DVD.
Yeah. Okay. No. Now let me. JK, did you pick yours?
I forgot mine, bro. No, I'm joking. Virgil and Hansen. For me, them two they are the prime centre backs of football of all time. You ain't getting better than them two.
All right, so I'm going to go through what the lads have said and the girls, I think. Brian Morrissey, Anson and Virgil. Anson and Virgil, Ian McHale. Bonkers, Virgil and Anson.
There you go.
Darryl Merry, Virgil and Aga.
With 12.
Oh, yeah.
And the outfielder, my other centre back was Virgil, no doubt. And there's Gene saying, evening K-Mac. That's nice. That's nice. Youssef, Virgil and Anson.
Yep.
John Conway, Virgil and Anson. Richard Hutchinson, Frank versus Lee.
Frank and Lee centre backs. You're winning everything. You'll have 2 bloody
That's a
red
good
cards.
one, actually. Yeah.
I just read these things out. I don't know. Unbelievable. Look, Darryl goes like that. Look. And the drunk stage. The drunk
Imagine
stage.
though.
Hey, Matt,
I do.
oh, blimey. Anyway,
I fear his knowledge.
Richard Hutchinson, VJ,
VG.
That's Brian
Giving the guy a
Robson.
disease.
That's Brian Robson. He's got VJ, isn't he?
oh, stop it!
That's what the cops sang in when I was a kid, mate.
I met
I
Brian
believe-
Robson. I met Brian Robson at Alton Towers one time. He was right behind me. And he actually was all right, actually. I said, all right. He went, all right, Brad. Then he went.
Oh, I'll tell you something funny as well. You were talking before about players being a bit stingy. My mum's mate's a taxi driver, and this is years ago when I was a kid. And Paul Ince and Didier Mann were in the back of a cab, and one of them left a pair of sunglasses in the back of the cab, and she brought them home for me as like a souvenir, and said, "These are Paul Ince's sunglasses. These like yellow sunglasses." And about an hour later, Paul Ince and Didier Mann turn up at the house, at my house with the sunglasses. They rang up the taxi company and asked where the taxi driver lived, and yeah, he came round to the house to get them. That's stingy.
That's brilliant.
Must have liked those glasses.
They must have been Jaya ones or something, mustn't they?
They were broken.
That's brilliant, though. Okay.
Quick question.
Yeah.
What formation? Real quick question. What formation are you going with too? Just so I have an idea.
I'm going with 4-4-2.
2. Okay.
God, wait till we talk about strikers. Jesus Christ!
Oh,
exactly.
We only got two. We only got two to
No,
put in there.
see what Lee was saying before. He was going on, why did we pick that? This is what we're going to discuss once we got that team. Why? Do you understand why? This is what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
You know, why would you pick them?
Yeah.
Why them? And don't forget, these are all fantastic players. Okay, right, left back. I'm sorry, JK, I'm awfully sorry. On a lens with Heyman.
It's a tricky one, that one. For me, you got Adam Kennedy, you got Steve Staunton, David Burrows, maybe Risa. For me, he could between Risa and say Alan Kennedy and Robertson. Maybe because I've seen Robertson more, I'll probably go with him. But Alan Kennedy was also quality, you know. Let's go.
Okay. I'll have to pick one.
I'm gonna go with Risa.
Risa, okay. The Foz.
Alan Kennedy. You know, he scored that European Cup goal against Real Madrid. So yeah.
Yes.
Alan Kennedy.
He scored 2 actually.
Yeah.
2 winners. 2 winners. I was there in Paris and in Rome with the penalty.
Wow.
And I've been on the telly with him. I had a night for him as well, Alan Kennedy. Lovely fella. Scouse night I had. What you call a Scouse night. All right, Lee, left back, mate.
I'm going to go for John Arnorisa to keep Hansen company.
Okay. Who did you say?
Risa.
John Arnorisa to keep Hansen company, left-hand side. I mean, like in the sense of another Scandinavian. I'm getting all... it's not nepotism, is it? I'm doing that one. Getting all
Yeah, your name's Carlson. You're a Scandinavian, yeah, and you've got black hair. Something wrong there along the way. I'll have a word with you.
Be blonde soon, isn't it?
Anyway, Foz, who's your...
I said it already. I said Alan Kennedy.
Oh, you said it. I'm awfully sorry. 12th man. I'm
worries.
just 12th. So, who's your left back?
I wanted to be. I mean, like, it's all depending on what we're doing. Like, I wanted to be different and say maybe like put Milner there, but I would say Robbo for me.
Okay, Mac.
Jimmy Traore.
He got a shout for Cult Hero.
Is it? For the least coach.
Yeah, he got shout for Cult Heroes. That's what's great about it. I mean, these names.
Big Jimmy. Yeah. Big Jimmy Traore.
You're not picking them for real, are you?
No, I'm not. John Arnorisa.
John Arne, okay.
Yeah, what a player.
Ian McHale says, he says left back Stig Inge Bjorneby. Stinger Bjorneby. Alan Kennedy. No, he says, nah, Alan Kennedy, what a player. So he picks Alan Kennedy.
I think I got dropped on my head when I was a kid. I forgot all my childhood memories. So I don't really remember all the old Liverpool players.
Well, right. John Arnorisa was a massive upgrade on his fellow Norwegian Stig Inge Bjorneby. And yeah.
I think Aurelio also a good shout.
Stig had some cross on him though. Oh.
Well, yeah, he did. And, you know, you've even got what people... let me just go through them. And I'll say who they've left out. And this fella was an unbelievable cult. And even you left him okay, Mac. I'm surprised. Okay. Stevie Staunton says Yusa. Bonkers says Alan Kennedy. The Anfield Raw. My left back is John Arnorisa. Fantastic. Left back.
Yeah.
Left back under Klopp would have been unbelievable. Oh, it's great. Soul Boy. Barney Rubble. Legend. Could have got some autograph. Says Mac Top. Risa says Darryl. Risa, John Conway, Alan Kennedy, Bonkers. Oh, look at this fella. You mate, I've never seen Ashish Lynn, me, Risa for me. Richard Hutchinson. Okay, I'm just going through these lads. Mick Toe.
I was going to say him.
You know what? Should have put an R in there so it said Dosser, nah. So, like, nah, don't that clever. You don't have that. You're 12, Dosser. It doesn't really apply to a footballer. It means someone probably would have, like, second-hand clothes or something, like, and maybe live in the east.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm going now, K-Mac, I'm going to you. I'm going to you for a DM.
Who was the guy? Who was the guy I missed?
Yeah.
Was it Highway? Not Highway. It wasn't Highway, was it?
No. Do you mean for the left back position?
Yeah. Who was it?
Emlyn
Who's the guy? Who's the guy? Oh God, Emlyn, bloody hell! I forgot he played there.
They let and even the Shanks bought him as a left back.
Absolute monster of a player.
There you go. There you go.
And, DM. Oh God. We didn't win anything with him though, but he was incredible.
Who?
Mascherano.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
He didn't win anything with him though, but he was amazing.
Are you picking him?
He was.
No, I'll probably pick Didier, man. He was with us 5 years, did he? He was brilliant with us. Won a couple of trophies with him as well.
Yeah, but I'd pick Mascherano.
Yeah. Yeah, he was incredible, wasn't he?
He was unbelievable. I never replaced him.
Mash,
Little terrier.
or did he? I'll probably pick Diddy just because he stepped up for the Pens as well.
No, he did, yeah.
Champions League.
But no one chased anybody.
Oh, God, yeah. Ronnie Whelan, Jan Mulvey as well.
Yeah.
Covered everywhere.
Midfield's difficult.
Okay, no. Are you sticking with Diddy for your GM?
Yeah.
Okay. 12th, who are you going for your GM?
Okay, so let me just
caveat. It's going to be difficult for you, actually.
I know, that's what I was going to say. It's good. Let me caveat this with that. If you're going a 4-4-2, I wouldn't necessarily have a real DM in my role. Maybe I probably would possibly put even Gerard in that role, maybe. Since he
sorry.
But,
what about Graham Souness?
Yeah.
Sorry. It's got to be Souness. Sorry, I've seen Souness. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, no,
sorry.
That's no problem.
Sorry.
That ain't any problem. All right.
I've only got 2. Sorry, 12th man. There's a lot to pick from.
Yeah.
Can I change my mind and I'll tell you why right at the end?
We're talking to the 12th man. Wait, then you can, you're next. So then you can say whatever you want.
I would I'll put since I put my, in case I have to leave before we finish, I did put my entire midfield, and I would have to, if we're going to do a DM, then I guess I would have Gerard in the DM, even though he wouldn't necessarily play DM, but for me, but
okay. Now, Lee,
your left or right mid?
Lee,
it's Gerard for me, yeah.
As a DM,
okay.
I'm going to surprise you.
He has played that.
No, I've changed my mind already. It's Souness is the DM.
Souness as a DM.
Souness is the DM, yeah.
All right.
Right. Anywhere, mate. Yeah.
Right, boss.
Graham Souness as a DM. 100%, yeah.
Okay. Okay. JK.
Steve McMahon.
Steve McMahon.
Oh,
yeah. Good one.
Okay.
I have him as well. Yeah, I have him as well.
That's He was unbelievable.
What a
Yeah, see, look. What you, see
That's
what I mean?
too many.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's too many. Yeah.
playing that 12th man last night, I was on his pod.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said, well, all right, so what did I say to you last night, 12th man? I'll get you back for this.
Yeah. He did. I have him. If you look at my midfield, that's what I do have. I do have him in my midfield too. My midfield, if I could just go, because I want to make sure that I could get my picks in. My midfield would have been Coutinho, Xabi Alonso, Gerrard, and McManaman as my midfield.
Okay.
McManaman. Oh, wow.
Okay. Who's just come on? Has anyone, who's this here? There's no name.
It might be Brian. It might be
It's
Brian.
bro.
Brian,
It's,
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
From Seattle.
All right.
I'm Brian.
God, stop it.
What
Right, I'm going.
Hello.
All right.
Yeah, it is Brian from Seattle. Yeah.
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 From Seattle.
Okay.
Hi, Brian.
Hello.
I've asked
how
you,
are
haven't I? I've asked you, Foz, haven't I? Is your DM, right?
Yeah, Graham.
Okay. JK, I've asked you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Straight to you. We're looking for, Brian, a DM for the best team from 1980 to present day. So who's the best DM you've seen from 1980 to the present day playing for Liverpool? We're picking our best team, you see.
I like Souness.
Okay.
But Gerrard. But I like the suggestion of Gerrard. But we did see him at DM late in his career. That didn't go well. I mean, we factor in all the rule changes. I'm not making this complex, but are we factoring all the rule changes and the advancements since the 80s? Or anyway? I'll go with Souness. I hoped Fabinho would be there, but no, I'll go with Souness.
Okay. Right. Okay. Like Daryl says, Mascherano. For the third one,
That's a good one. Yep.
Ray Kennedy.
Oh, what a player.
The bonkers says Jan Molby or Ronnie Whelan.
Sure.
These are hard, aren't they?
Yeah.
Keep it real. Now, I'll tell you, lads. Okay, now I'd pick Mascherano as a DM.
Mm-hmm.
And the two fellas, three fellas in front of him, you've got three in front of him. He's the DM, remember. K-Mac, I'm just going to go straight to you. Right? Then you, 12. Then you, Lee. Don't get up or I won't ask it again. You, Foz, and you, JK. I'm going to ask you, you've got your DM, which is Mascherano. That's my choice. Mascherano. He's the best. I've seen him from the likes of Ronnie Whelan. Loved Ronnie Whelan. Seen him right through to the likes of Ray Kennedy. Unbelievable. Right, these are all unbelievable players. But Mascherano and Didier, man, I love Didier, man.
Mm-hmm.
But Mascherano, he was incredible.
Yeah.
He was incredible. So I'm going to ask you now, K-Mac, who are your three in front of him? Your three midfielders in front of
So okay, so one of them Stevie G. God.
You mentioned this fella before.
Coutinho. And no John Barnes.
Okay.
John Barnes, sorry. John Barnes. Gosh, really not easy. I mean, can I have like an attacking midfielder, not a striker?
Yeah, of course you can.
I'll probably Keegan.
Ooh.
Keegan in there.
Was he there
And
in
for
the
that,
80s?
you'll get a special prize.
Nice one.
Nice one. That wasn't planned, by the way. That wasn't like a setup. That wasn't like a setup.
That's a proper signature, by the way. It's a proper signature of little Kev. Okay, so have you picked your three?
Yeah, so it's Barnes, Gerrard, and Keegan. Jesus Christ. And Souness. Wow.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to go to the 12th now. In front of
my three are Coutinho. Well, if I had to put Gerrard at DM, then I would have had. I was just playing a flat four, but if you're going to play as a DM, I put Xavi Alonso, and I stayed with McManaman too in my midfield.
Nice.
That's unbelievable. Isn't it great? See the fluctuate. See how many great players we've had.
Yeah.
This is what it's all about, boys. I'm going to you, Brian. Who's the three in front of the DM who you'd like to pick? Midfielders.
First, I'll say shame on me. I forgot Mascherano. How could I forget that over Souness? Anyway, that's a tough one. I was going to say McManaman for attacking mid, if we can have him. I'd say Alonso, Gerrard, Barnes. I'll go with those four for the three. No, Alonso, McManaman. Oh God, I gotta make space for Barnes. I'll say Gerrard and Barnes. Yeah, too bad. I'll play 11. I'll play 12. I'm going for those four.
Okay. Do you know what? Brian's a great friend of mine, by the way. Great friend of mine, and he loves Liverpool, the city as well. He comes from Seattle. Great fella. He's a very good friend of mine. And I hope he comes and sees me again before the end of the season. Are you coming over, Brian?
I won't be coming over anytime soon. I'll have to wait till later this year. Wait till the fall or the autumn, as you say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be
season,
beginning of next season then, yeah.
Next season, yes.
Excellent stuff. Okay, Lee.
My three in front of Souness. Remember Bob Paisley and then later Joe Fagan after him used to play Kenny Dalglish in midfield in front of Souness behind two strikers. Yeah. Well, Kenny's in the middle in front of Souness, Gerrard on the right, Barnes on the left. And there you go. And you know why? Because I've repicked my defenders. Lawrenson's out on the grounds of being pug ugly, and Virgil's in because Virgil's a handsome man, and Steve Nicholls a munter, and Ray Clements was a munter, and Allison's like a really good-looking man. So I'm picking best and best looking. So you can only have one munter, and it's Stevie Nicholls, the munter. Size 12 feet, all the rest of the women would go mad over them, all my team, all of them, including Kenny with his fat bottom. I've got a lovely bottom. Women love my bottom, my Scouse bottom.
Keep going, Lee. Keep going, mate.
Lee, who's your three?
Just told you, mate.
No, you're talking about big feet, big bottoms.
Barnes on the left. Barnes is on the left. Gerrard's on the right. Kenny's
okay, then. All right.
I have to change. I have to change mine because Keegan left in 77 apparently. So it's got to be Dalglish then. It's got to be Dalglish.
Did I make you laugh, Fozzie? Are you laughing at me, Fozzie?
You're the best, Lee. You're the best, man. I'm telling you.
He's collapsed. Fozzie's collapsed. But anyway, I'm going to Fozzie anyway. So who's your front three? Who's your
I
three
said
in front of your three mids in front of?
midfield. Yeah, it's gonna be
yeah.
Graham Souness. I said Steven Gerrard and Xabi Alonso. It's the technical ability of obviously Alonso.
Thank you. They're my
Steven
front.
Gerrard,
They're my front three.
I forgot
They
Xabi.
are my front three. Xabi Alonso, Steven Gerrard, Graham Souness.
Can't get better than that.
Xabi might out that face of his.
It's JK's turn now.
Sorry, bro. My DM's McMahon, so, and in front I'd have Gerrard, Dalglish, and Barnes.
Dalglish is not a midfielder. I'm sorry, he's not a midfielder.
I've got to get him in there, though. We have to get
Exactly.
him in there, don't we, JK?
No, it's getting wherever you want him.
We have to squeeze him in that team, don't we, JK?
You know, it's like he can play in a 10. I've seen Dalglish play in a 10. So, hence why I would say I would wanted him in there. If we can't play Dalglish in the midfield, I'd swap him for Souness, and it will be McMahon, DM, Gerrard, Souness, and Barnes.
Okay. All right. As Anfield Ross says, my DM is Graham Souness. Lucas Lever.
Okay.
Never.
No. No. Just no.
Brian says Alonso. Brian
It's a cool
says
hero.
Alonso.
Yeah, he likes Alonso.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a cool hero.
Redbird says, well,
Look at Fozzie. Hey, Fozzie, all your picks have got to be Gale bait, mate. So we can't be having, like, I've got a 1 Munter policy and Steve Nichols, the assigned Munter.
well, Bonkers says Wayland and Stevie. Redbird says Souness, bad manager, but great footballer. Our lovely Jane says it's got to be my pit bull without Enzo's mouth guard, Mascherano. Thank you, Jane. My choice. Ian McHale. Souness, Gerrard, centre mid. Imagine them two together, says Ian. Absolutely.
Does he well,
Soul Boy. Jimmy Case and
Jimmy
Souness.
Case.
Double pivot. Nothing gets
Oh.
past him. Did you know that he's deaf? He's deaf, you know. He wears two
Jimmy Case?
hearing aids, says Jimmy. Yeah. No, Jimmy. Great fella. I brought him into
LFC TV with him, Frank.
yeah, was. I brought him into the live of buildings, and I brought him into the clock tower. And you know what he said to me? He said, "That bell's not going to go off, is it?" I said, "The bell." And this is as we're going up. And I went, "Why?" He said, "Because look," he said, and he said, "Shall I turn them off? You know, my batteries." And I went, I said, "Oh, you'll be all right. Don't worry, you'll be all right." So we get up there, and it was just before midday. So he gets up there, and we're standing around. He went, "Where's the bell?" I said, "What do you mean, where's the bell?" He said, "Where is it? Where's the big bell?" He said, "I heard this going off, you know." And I went, "There's the bell there." And it was a little piano wire, you know, that echoes, you know, with speakers around. And he went, "Is that it?" I said, "Yeah." And it went off, and it said, "Nearly deafens and wakes." The noise.
Frank, I watched this film lately with a killer. No, he wasn't a killer. He was a rapist. He was some sort of like mental deficient. And it was an old 50s one, black and white. And he hid in the bell tower and he didn't suss that the bell was going to go off, the stupid get. And the bell went off and he went, and fell out and they caught him. He fell out the bell thing and they caught him. It was dead funny.
Well, there you are, mate.
My auntie used to work in a youth centre, and She used to know a guy that used to clean the bird shit off the bell.
Go away.
I'm not lying. That was his job.
We had a cockatiel.
He used to clean the bell. He used to clean the liver birds and the bell, like the crap off it, because it was full of bird shit. Sorry.
We had this cockatiel, and he had lots of attitude. And my mum let him out the cage so he could hop around. And he hopped on my stepdad's hand, and my stepdad was going, and he bit his nose. It was dead funny. He pecked his nose like, and our John went, because my mum was a carer, and she looked after this old man, and when he died, she got the cockatiel because it had no home. But like, he was funny. He was an old grouch. Was what was he called? Smokey. God, he was funny.
Okay. Thank you, Lee.
This show took a turn, didn't it?
Right, yes. Oh, blimey. Right, I'm going to the fuzz. I'm going to the fuzz.
All right, Fuzz, bring it back.
I'm trying.
Can you beat the bell and the bird shit story?
Yeah. So, did he give you 3 mids, Fuzz?
Yeah, I did. Frank.
I'm off
did.
this. JK. I never went to Brian. Yeah, I went to Brian, didn't I? Did I go to you, Brian?
I gave 4. You know, we can't. I guess we're playing a 5-5-4 in this formation. So anyway, go on, Foz.
See, as Anfield
Okay.
Go ahead. What did you say, Brian?
I was just saying, okay, Foz, bring it back, but no Yari Litmanen or Alberto Aquilani or.
Oh, no Aquilani, no.
No, he's not
cool. No Alberto.
They're 2 great shouts for my team, Aquilani and Yari.
What? Okay, they have small feet.
No, because they're good looking. Aquilani has like long, floppy Italian hair. And
Frank, you'll have to do a show on the worst signings.
And Leanne Littman was good looking as well, like dark. So, and Torres is my striker with the Yari, mate. It's best team for me. And Kenny's in midfield with his fat bottom.
So I guess to leave D out didn't make it either. Okay, anyway.
John Barnes and Virgil.
Let him talk, Lee.
Frank, go on. Well, Foz left. Did he leave or?
I'm here.
All right. Okay. Straight face. 3, 2, 1. Back to the show. The Frank Carlyle show.
It's okay. I don't know whether you have you picked your 3 midfielders.
Yep, everyone's picked them.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And I'm going to go to you, JK, then to you, Foz, Lee, and just 2 names. That's all, just 2 names. No going into the thing and talking about fat bums and big feet and everything else. Okay. None of that, or I'll tear you up. And then, then Brian amends him with K-Mac. All right, JK, who's your 2 forwards?
This is the one that we all waiting for. I've seen Rush play in real life. I've seen Suarez play in real life. I think Suarez is probably the best footballer I've ever seen in real life. So he has to be up there. And look, we've got Salah as well. And that's the thing. I got Rush or Salah as the guy who's going to partner Suarez. So that's the one. Can we have 12 people?
So,
That'd be cool.
James, have you picked your 2, JK?
I would go Suarez, Rush.
Oh. The Fuzz.
What, three prop players, yeah?
Just 2 forwards.
2 forwards.
Yep. Playing together.
Yeah, I'll go with him. Suarez, in his time, was one of the best players I've ever seen as well. Yeah, so I'll go with Suarez and Rush. I've seen both of them.
Okay. Go ahead, Lee.
I would pick Ian Rush, and everyone loves and knows the story of Bob Paisley telling Ian Rush, "I've put you on the transfer list," but it was a lie. And everyone's heard of Pinocchio, the little boy, like made of wood. Well, when Bob Paisley told Ian Rush that, it wasn't Bob Paisley's nose that grew. Ian Rush's nose went like that, so he can't be in. Torres is in up front, like, because he's good looking with that blonde hair and that.
Right. Oh, okay. Are you picking your two players? Who are you picking? Who are your two forwards, Lee?
Littman and Torres.
Littman and Torres.
With Kenny behind them. And then we've got Gerrard, we've got Souness.
No, listen, you picked your two. Leave it now. You go on. I'm trying to finish this. Right, I'm going to you, Brian, before I go to the 12th. Your two forwards.
That's a tough one. I definitely go Rush because I forget it was someone said he was also our best defensive player. So I thought about putting him at defensive mid. Okay, I'm ad-libbing. Rush and I go Torres. I want to go Suarez Torres, but I'll go Rush Torres.
Okay. Who said that? Was that you, Brian, or 12th?
What?
No, it's okay. 12th man, who's your two forwards?
Okay, so I'm going to make sure that everyone understands why I'm picking these two. I'm picking Torres because Torres was my favorite player on pretty much in that era that he played. He was my favorite player. And I'm going to pick Sturridge because I actually if Daniel if he actually saw this, or maybe he does, maybe he will, he'd get angry if I didn't pick him. So because he's a personal friend of mine, so I say I have that bias, so I will say Sturridge as well.
Okay.
Sturridge, I used to love Sturridge, man. What a guy, what a player. If he was fit,
top. Minus the injuries, I think Daniel Sturridge could have been one of the greatest forwards in the Premier League.
100%.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Good one.
He's got the same birthday as Shankly, Sturridge.
Okay.
Drop that fact in.
All right, do the dance. Do the Sturridge dance. Let's show us close friends.
Yeah, right.
There you go. Right, so I'm going to K-Mac for this too.
Okay, so I'm just going to put this into perspective, okay? Because I've had time to do this. So Ian Rush, 346 goals. Mo Salah next to him, 188 goals. And then Steven Gerrard behind them, 186 goals.
Crazy.
Just think about that.
And,
right?
and Dalglish has got like quite a lot as well.
There you go. You see.
So it's Salah and Rushy for me.
All right, I'm staying with you, Lee. I mean, JK. And then I'm going to Brian, then I'm going to the 12th, then I'm going to Lee, and then I'm going to the Foz, and then I'm going to JK. Just one substitute. Who would you have?
Is that
For
me?
that team? Yeah.
That's Suarez.
Yeah.
Suarez.
Okay. Brian,
you
who
could
would
defense
you
if
have?
you wanted. Like Suarez, just nuts.
Okay. No, I think that's super.
Yeah.
That. Brian, who would you have as one sub?
For the entire squad, or just a one sub? Okay. Oh. That's a good one. Come back to me with that one. Let me think about that.
Come back to it.
That's a hard one.
That's cheating, that.
One sub. Okay. All right.
He's looking up some stats.
See, no, that changes. That
Looking at the
changes my
stats,
original selections. If I had like, I want to go Faircloth. Yeah, come back to me on that one. That's a tough one.
All right. I'll go to you, the 12th. If you had one sub, who would you have?
If I'm going one sub, I'm going James Milner.
I knew you were going to pick James Milner. I
What?
knew
He
you were
loves
going to
James,
pick
doesn't he?
him.
He loves James, man.
Utility man.
Utility man,
nice.
exactly. The
That's
guy
nice.
can play. I mean, I'm only got one sub, and I got 11 players out there. And James
Well,
Milner
man.
can probably play almost every position.
Well, man.
Okay. I'll go to you, Lee. One sub.
One sub. Stacey Neville. Because I'm getting face up because I'm in love with her. I'm only messing. I'm at some birds after me, I think, and she's lovely. I'm made up. Anyway, I don't know. Sub is
A substitute.
Emily News. Oh, the smile on Emily News. And the boss and stuff was the player. Just pure
Emily
boss.
News is in the team, Lee. Listen. Then Emily News is left back, mate. So, who is your sub? What are you looking at?
My phone. I'm trying to log into. All right, it is Akhlani.
I might take you off. You're acting stupid now.
I'm not being stupid.
Foz. I'm
Excuse
just talking now.
I'll have Salah. Yeah.
Salah.
It's a good pick.
I need goals in it, so someone coming from the bench.
Yeah. Okay. JK, who was your obvious? Your one sub.
Salah as well. Yep.
Okay. I'm staying with you, JK. I'm going to end with K-Mac.
Are you going to pick a manager?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Manager.
Okay.
Dalglish.
No, I'm going to finish with you.
Dalglish.
I'm going to finish with you. Right, JK, who is your other as your manager?
I would have
1980
Dalglish because he can be a player manager. So
Yeah.
I haven't got in my first 11. I'm thinking like 12 man now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Dalglish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. The Foz.
Dalglish, that's who I grew up with, and he gave me the greatest team I've ever watched. With Peter Bailey, John Barnes, and Aldridge and Houghton and that. So yeah, Dalglish.
Okay, that's super cool.
Ray Houghton was good as well. Sorry.
Stop it.
Sorry.
Right, Lee, who's your manager? Don't forget, from 1980 up to the present day.
And I can't have Tracy Neville. She won't return me calls. But anyway, I'll have Bill Shankly as my manager.
No, 1980.
Yeah, it's 1980, yeah.
1980.
Not 1880.
74.
All right, then. Kenny's Dalglish's player manager at a younger age. Kenny's player manager again, and it's at a younger age.
Okay. Brian, who's your other's manager?
I'll go with Dalglish.
Okay. The 12th.
Yeah.
Oh, 12th man?
I would it's tough not to pick King Kenny, to be honest with you. But I'm gonna have to go with Klopp for me.
Okay. K-Mac, manager.
Oh, I said Dalglish before, sorry.
Did you? Okay,
Yeah,
sticking with him.
He
Well,
took
I'll
us
go
all
along with
he took us all the way up to 1989, didn't he? So
I'll go along with the greatest manager Liverpool has ever had. Ever. Far outdoes Klopp, far outdoes every one of them. And don't forget, I'm a Shankly boy. And he far outdoes him as well. Who built the foundations? Who is it? K-Mac. Who am I talking about?
Oh, okay.
What, who built the foundations?
No, Shankly built the foundations.
Oh, it's Fagan and Paisley, isn't it? It's Paisley. Paisley.
Paisley is the greatest manager of all time. Far outdoes them all. Every single one of them. He's the manager. He's the manager. He's the man. He's the boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
He's good, for sure.
It's like 16 trophies in
19, I think, in 9 years.
19
in 9 seasons, wasn't it?
21
Yeah,
and
and
9.
Ferguson 26
21.
years.
9 years.
21 and
9
9 years. Yeah.
Wow.
9 years.
Mental.
Yeah.
And he's the only manager at the time to win 3. Now, don't forget, you have to be champions of your country. 3 European Cups. No Champions League. None of this nonsense, finishing second and third and all this and going through and knockout stages.
You have to finish
You have
top
to be champions of and knockout stages all the way through. If you got beat by you're out. Right? And that man, the only man at the time to win 3 European Cups with the same club, no one else could achieve that. No one at the time.
Well, you know who come in on the back of him, didn't you, and got 2 European Cups? Your mate, Brian Clough. But Bob was a class above him, mate. Both from the same part of the country, like both Geordies, but Bob was a better manager and a better man. Clough was a loudmouth tool.
Yeah.
Think about that as well, though. You don't know how well Kenny would have done European Cup-wise if we hadn't have been banned.
Oh, we would have won
5
2.
years.
Would have won 2.
Yeah, that would have been insane.
Frank,
we just won it in 80.
No, go on.
I'm fair says, Frank, what the hell's going on with this formation?
Yeah, there's a bit all over the shop.
To make people think that's what it's all about. Anfield, honestly.
Ozzy, you were saying something, bro?
No, it's all right, bro. It's fine. Yeah, Frank, finish.
Anfield Road's going mad. He said, Frank, we played 4-4-3. No, you can play anything. We can play anything. This is what I said, 4-4-2.
Have you picked your strikers, Anfield Raw? Go on, just pick your strikers.
I could say this. I was going to say, real quick, though, I understand that we all have our biases for who we picked and everything, but if it was a coach for today, I struggle sometimes to wonder if some of the coaches of yesteryear, if they would even want to coach in the current modern day system where you have to worry so much about, finances, and you have to worry about like all these different egos. I know the egos existed throughout football, but I'm just saying with the sense of like how you have to really go about the structure of what it takes to be a manager today is much different than when it was in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s. I saw an interview with King Kenny, and he was speaking on about, like, for instance, how if he was interested in a player, he would actually go and watch the player. He would actually go and watch the player play if he was interested in maybe, going in for a transfer or something for that player. But yet, today's coaches don't do that at all. It's just not feasible. It's hard enough to fit into your schedule at all, but it's just not existent. It's just I'm just saying that's an interesting.
Oh, good point. Yeah, and the rule changes too. I mean, that's a big one as well. Yeah. And the subs and also the pace of the game. We talk about, Russia's one of my forwards in front. But could he play in a modern game now? He'd be pedestrian. He'd be slow, one of the slower players. So yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's similar. Why I say Virgil van Dijk. I saw another interview with Rio Ferdinand and Virgil van Dijk, and there's like very few center backs that could play in almost any era of the game. I think Virgil van Dijk's one of the unique cases where he could play in this era. He could have played in the 80s. He could have played in the 60s and still been dynamic. That kind of situation.
That's kind of why I picked my team. I think all the players in my team can play in any era. 80s, 90s, 2000s, all of them.
Yeah. And you noticed, I said, no one says, well, who's your two? Who's your two? No one said that to me.
And what's your two?
No,
there you go.
I never mentioned the two, did I? I feel left out, and I feel all
no.
I always ask you.
Ligo Randy Mug.
Your first strike.
I never heard you. Look at League with his hair, look.
No, yeah.
He's taking a photo.
I'm having my fringe parted different sides. My fringe used to be parted on another side, but now it's like on
He's got
If
fashion shoes in
someone
the morning.
slapped your head with a frying pan, the way it's flat.
Yeah. I thought he's gonna get the Floby out. The Floby? Remember those? Remember the Floby? No one knows.
No.
I might be dating myself
keep
there.
grabbing the wrong side because you're back to front, aren't you? On bloody thing
Camera,
and grabbing the
No,
wrong.
never go back
doing
to
it
front.
again.
Anyway, go on.
I'll tell you
tomorrow morning.
Grab me head. There it is. There.
Well, before you get to that, Frank, I'll say
I'll tell you who my two forwards are, for God's sake.
Okay, go on.
I'm waiting.
I just want to jump
Oh,
on
thank
that
you.
myself.
Thank
Go
you,
ahead.
K-Mac. I'm glad.
Oh,
My two forwards is Luis Suarez, the best player ever to put a red shirt on.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greatest fella to put a red shirt on. And besides playing forward,
El Pistol.
and this fella was unbelievable. I've seen the best players well. I've seen Robbie Fowler. I've seen Rushy. I've seen everyone. But this fella, he was pure football. He was everything. And I've seen him score one of the best goals I've ever seen. One of the best. And I'll tell you about midfield as well. No one, well, we go through that team actually. My fella there playing alongside Suarez, and they tried to get him to play with him. And this is why he was signed, Suarez. But he went, and that was Fernando Torres, Elmino. Yes. Imagine them two. Imagine Steven Gerrard today behind them. Mascherano cleaning up. Souness. Xabi Alonso. Imagine with those. Look, I was going to pick Salah and I was toying with him. And he'd be my substitute. Would be Mo Salah.
Salah, okay. No. See, I was going to go with Firmino.
Well,
there's a gig before the great match with this team. And who's at the gig? Who's playing at the gig, Frank? Scouse acts. The Beatles playing. This match with like all our best players, we have a gig before it, and it's got all the best Scouse bands from all time.
Imagine that.
They're definitely not all our best players. Some of the dross that we signed that get picked to play in that team somehow. Jose Enrique's in that team.
We've had some like is anyway. There's Brian Morrissey says Alonso, Gerrard, Barnes, McManaman, 4-man midfield. That's a cracking midfielder. You see, we've all got different tastes. And my other midfielders are Gerrard, Ian Callaghan, John Barnes, says Anfield Road. Now, Cali plays in the 80s as well.
Yeah.
Gerrard, Barnes, and Whelan, says John Conway. Soulboy says Keegan, good choice, but he left in 77.
I updated.
You did update. You did.
Daglish.
Two forwards, Suarez, Fowler, says Darryl. And we're all moving to Liverpool. To Schofield. Keegan, Gerrard, Barnes. It's unbelievable, isn't it? You know, who
So
these lads are picking as well. Who else? No, that's it, isn't it? And no one's come out with it. Soulboy Fran. No, I'm not going to say. I'm not mentioning that name ever again. Alexander Delos. What a name that is. Big up the Rodrigo rumours. Don't go away. Worried about Diaz. K-Mac.
Nope. Not worried. If we replace him with Rodrigo, woohoo!
That's
got
unbelievable.
a guy who can score goals.
And they're
Rodrigo.
not. Well, they are the very strong rumours as well. What do you think, Foz,
Sorry, man.
about Rodrigo and the rumours, and going the other way is Diaz?
Rodrigo, he's a better player. I'll take that. I'll 100% take that. The thing with Diaz is we're expecting something he's not. You know what I mean? We're trying to find out if he's like Mane still, and he's never going to get there. But Rodrigo offers more, in my opinion. So I'll take Rodrigo.
Okay, that's cool. There's Daz there. Love that Daz. Cracking fella. Love him to come on, I'd love him to come on. Anyway, so that's your team, no matter how you look at it. But look at the players. I remember being on LFC TV and she asked me at Claire Rocks and she said, everyone was picking the best teams, each week, guests going in. And I said, Clements and Fernando Torres had just signed for a year or something like that. And I picked Fernando Torres, as my forwards, if you like. I picked Jansen and Lawrenson as the pivotal centre backs. I picked Phil Neal right back. I picked Emile Hughes left back. Obviously, Souness I picked. Steven Gerrard I picked. So these are the players, if you know what I mean. And of course, I picked Kenny playing alongside Fernando Torres. But the way it's changed now, as I've Alisson in goal rather than the Clem. So it's changed. You've got Virgil van Dijk, he is the best centre half, in my opinion, in world football and has been for a very long time. And he does outdo both Mark Lawrence and Alan Hansen, Jockey Hansen. So this is how it changes. That's why I said from 80 to now to 24, because it does change. All the lads are picking unbelievable players. But I said to Claire, no, she's going back, even Roger Hunt and Ian St. John and those people, I was going back to as well. I said to Claire, it's not who you're picking for this great team, it's who you leave out. That's the hardest, who you leave out. And it's very difficult. And when the 12th man said last night, I want you to do this, and it was fun. It was really good. We got through the team of these cult people. So it gave me the idea to pick the best team. And I'm going to you, K-Man. Do you think that it was difficult to pick a team within those years from 1980 to today?
Yeah, it was, because there were so many good players in the 80s that you could pretty much just pick an 80s team. I bet you Gary Gillespie was pissed off that you didn't mention him. He was sat next to you.
That's true. That is true.
On LFC TV. He's good, Gaz Gillespie on LFC TV. He was so freakishly tall, wasn't he? Like, he was dead gangly, like massive. He was like a white version of massive. Gary Gillespie, 12th man, very tall and gangly when he
a
ran.
White version of Matip.
Yeah, he was. He was a white version of Massive. You know the way Massive runs? Funny because he's so tall, like a giraffe, isn't he? Like a Jeffrey giraffe.
Think about that team as well.
But anyways, yeah, man.
The thing about that team as well is there's like players like Steve Nicol was unbelievable. Like, he scored like 7 goals a season. Like, he was unbelievable. Like, for Liverpool.
Sometimes he scored more.
Picking between him and Trent is really difficult. And even being able to not be able to pick Robbie Fowler is really mad. And John Aldridge, two absolute monsters like in front of the goal. Like, you know, it's just, and the midfield, like, you're missing loads of players there. Like, I couldn't get Mascherano in. I couldn't get Jan Molby in. Like, how good was Jan Molby? He was like 10 goals a season as well.
Ronnie Whelan, if you're forgetting about Ronnie Whelan as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Exactly what Frank said before, didn't you, mate? It's the players you're going to leave out that you'll be thinking about more than the ones that you put in.
Yeah. Now, if you look at that comment there, it's by the Anfield Road. My strikers are Suarez and Dalglish, Salah and Rush and Roger Hunt and Torres and Fowler. I mean, how can we choose the all great and Ian St. John?
And we're forgetting about Billy Liddell as well.
Foz,
Yeah, we had
I want you to talk. Can you turn your mic up, Foz, please?
Oh, sorry, mate. Let me just do it now. Yeah, went back down.
No.
Is that better? Yeah, is that better?
Yeah, that's it. No, hang on. Say something, Foz.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, I want you to say, like, you know, what the lads are saying. And I know that you won't remember. I don't think you'll even remember Ian Rush, but you know, going back to the likes of St. John and then just go around, have a free for all. And I'll tell you what, I'll start with K-Mac, give you some idea. You know, these players that are being mentioned there by the Anfield Road, you know, how can we leave players out like that and not mention them, K-Mac?
It's probably because it's before the 80s. Right?
Yeah.
So it didn't really, like, if we do like an all-time, then we can definitely list some of these. But yeah, I mean, I missed out Fowler, like, just because Rush and Dalglish and who else did it? I mean, no one even mentioned Michael Owen. I mean, think of what you want of him, like, but he was a bloody brilliant player when he played for us. Won a Ballon d'Or. You know what I mean?
Michael Owen was the name the Argentinian press gave him after he scored that goal in the World Cup. They called him Babby Goal instead of Batty Goal for Battistu. He said Babby Goal. He said he looked like a little baby.
He was. He was 18. He was 18 when he scored it.
He looked about 12 though.
So many greats for Liverpool, like, over the years. So many greats.
And how can you leave this man out?
Was he in the studio with you?
Yeah, he is now.
The Saint.
Oh, the Saint, yeah. Ian St. John.
St. John was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he was.
He was just an amazing player. He wasn't afraid of anybody. And not only wasn't he afraid of anybody, he loved Liverpool. And I always remember him, and it was like an advert, and he was talking about Shanks. Well, not an advert. It was like and he was talking about Shanks. And he said, he always said to us as we were going out, "You're playing for them." And he had a tear, and it was in it, tears were coming down. And look at that. Look at that, Foz. Go ahead. Keegan. Nice. Oh, look at that. That's unbelievable, that.
My next one I'm going to meet is hopefully Kenny. So I want to go see Kenny next.
Yeah. And, you know, I've had the privilege of meeting some of our greats, Kenny Dalglish as well. I was at a function in the Anglican Cathedral, and I walked over, and he was talking to Jimmy McGovern. And anyway, when I walked over, I said to Francine, I had my daughter with me, I said, I'm going over to shake his hand, and that's Kenny's hand. I walked over, and I went like that, Mr. Dalglish, and I put my hand out like that. And he says, hello, Frank. I was gobsmacked. I said,
he's one of those guys. One of those guys never forget a name.
Well, do you know what he watched? Do you know what he watched? That LFC TV every week, every night. He watched it. He wanted to see what fans were talking about. He wanted to see. But when he went over, I told him about John Kirk, and that was get the inspiration. The birth of John Kirk and Brownlow Will Workhouse, and I gave him, the story that it gave Charles Dickens, the seed for the birth of Oliver Twist. It was just like he took that, and he was going around all night and shouting over, Frank, what? Oliver Twist is a scouser, isn't he? And I went, yeah, he is. But he was telling the story, you see, of John Kirk's birth and how Dickens got hold of it. But this is the point is, I said to Jimmy McGovern, did you tell him my name? And he said, no, I knew you. As you were calling over, he said, it's Frank, isn't it? That historian fella. He said, yeah. That was a great feeling for me at the time, that he actually knew me. I never had a clue. And this is what kind of a fella Kenny is. He's an unbelievable man. An unbelievable man. So what was the hardest there, boys? What was the hardest? Fozzie, I'll go straight to you.
Mm-hmm.
When you're picking that team, what was the hardest, as you were thinking? Who to pick, no matter what position, but any position, how was it for you to pick, who should be in that all-time great team?
It was difficult because, like I said before, God bless his soul, Ray Clements passed away. He messaged me back, I messaged him. So what I do as a Liverpool fan, obviously, I'm from the 80s, so I love looking back at our history and seeing the old players like Ron Yates, like Roger Hunt, and players like that. It's difficult, to leave, Clements out, in my opinion. Clements he's the greatest goalkeeper we ever had because he won the most, and he was a great goalkeeper at the same time as well. And putting Alisson in his place, it did hurt me to put him in there, but. Frank, it's difficult. Whoever we pick, it's difficult because there's so many great players we had down the years, guys. If you pick Liverpool from even like 70s all the way to now.
Well, okay, I'll go to you, 12. Do you know when I asked to pick the manager, what was your thoughts on the manager?
My thoughts on the manager was simply that I've gone through. I started following this team in the 90s, and although we have had some, measured success in here or there throughout the 90s and the 2000s, Klopp rebuilt this franchise, rebuilt this club in my mind. He's the person that really restored the historical history that or the press the kind of the essence of what this team means or has meant for so many decades that I was not a part of, but I've heard about, where I've been, been at least privy to by hearing your stories or Fozzie's stories, or I know Brian and JK have stories of their own, and despite that, I didn't live through those errors, or at least live through by watching the team in those errors. I know that, this is a historic club. This is a club that, I see what Manchester United's going through, for instance. Now I see what, some of these other clubs, like going through these periods where you're not winning like you're used to, at least. And Klopp has restored that to the point where you expect to be competing. You expect to be involved in a title run. You expect to be in the Champions League, or albeit we're in Europa this year, but you at least expect to be at these levels. And I'm immensely appreciative of that, because this is what it probably felt. This is the closest thing to what it probably felt like in the 80s, or in the 70s. Whereas you had a team and a manager that you could just rely on that would bring you a hope, and that's why I picked Klopp as my manager.
No. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. What do you say to that, K-Mac?
Oh, he's gone.
Has he gone?
No, he's gone, bro.
Yeah, he had to go.
Is he gone? He never said to that, did he?
He did.
He put it in the chat.
He messaged
he did.
a private message.
In the private chat, yeah.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool. So what do you think, JK, about when you're at a pick, your manager?
Mm-hmm. One thing we've been blessed with Liverpool is always having a manager who's correct. No, nothing off the field doing this, that, and the other. Always respected the fans. So you got Shankly, you got Paisley, you got Dalglish, Houllier even. The first foreign Liverpool manager, Houllier, and he won quite a few things in 2001. Klopp's been here 9 years as well. So for me, I picked Dalglish because of the time where he was manager. It was sort of off the field. A lot of things were happening at that time. We were a great team. And also the Hillsborough problem we had, all that. And I think that took a lot out of him. So, and also because he was the player manager, I think that was the reason. But I feel, as your choice, Frank, Bob Paisley, I've been actually reading into him and stuff like that. And the guy won 3 Champions Leagues. So I would love to have Paisley as my manager. If I had to choose out of all of them, again, it would be Bob Paisley, but Dalglish because he could be a player manager.
Well, Dalglish, don't forget, he won Liverpool's first double. And he just missed out on the second double the following season. When we only had to draw or keep them down to 1 goal if they were going to beat us, and that was Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at that game, sick I was.
Frank, can I ask you a question, mate? Please.
Yeah.
That 80s team from 87 onwards, how good was that team? That never played in
Europe. The greatest team I've ever seen, honestly. I've seen, from 77 in Rome. It was. I always remember. I had an ambition. I always had an ambition from a small kid. To see Liverpool, in a European final. I used to always look at Real Madrid, and I was, if only we could do that. If only we can get to a final. I'm talking European final, by the way, European Cup. And when we got there, it was incredible. And every lad I met in 77 over there, Foz, it was pride. Everyone, it was pride. They had the chest out, because it was pride. We were kids, we were young, and there was grown-ups. And I'll never forget it. This, when we won it, when the referee went like that and blew the final whistle. And I turned around, because you know the way you feel a bump in your back, and I turned around, and a fella who was my age then, if you know what I mean, my age now, right? And he was crying. And he said, I said, "Are you all right?" He said, "I've just seen something that I thought I'd never see in my lifetime.
Wow.
Now I'm happy. I'm happy." That's what he just said. And
amazing.
So there's the emotion. There's the emotion filled. It's like Hillsborough. Now I can't, sing "You'll Never Walk Alone."
Yeah.
Because I choke up. Because if I start singing, I just choke up. I'm gone.
Understand.
Simply because I just see a number 97.
Yeah.
That's what I see. So Liverpool Football Club, we're one big family. And the lovely Jean, she says, "I'm a member of this Liverpool family, aren't I?" I said, "You're one big." The Anfield Roar and Redbird, welcoming people.
Yes, sir. Welcome
to the family. You're a member. And this is what we all are for. This is
we
what
discussed
we
it.
all are.
We discussed it the other day. We discussed it. Like, I asked you about the question. I asked you the question: what's happened to our fan base compared to what we originally supposed to be? If people don't know, togetherness is all. That's all we are. And there's no jealousy or anything like that. I mean, if a Liverpool fan needs help, we're there for you. That's how we're supposed to be.
Yes, absolutely, spot on. And you can't get. That's a great sentimental comment you just come out with there, because we do help, and we will help.
Yeah,
we do. And isn't it funny? I'll go to you, Lee. Name me 2 players who we left out, who you would think that should have been in the team, but were left out.
Maybe Steve Highway, if he didn't get in, and Steve Highway, and maybe Phil Thompson. Oh no, yeah, Phil Thompson was easier.
Yeah, well, don't forget Stevie Highway. He was before 1980. He was in the
Still
70s.
playing in 80-81 season though. When we went to Munich, still playing that season when we won it in 81.
Yeah. No, I understand that. Who would you say, 12? Who would you say, about players being left out, and you think, wow, they should have been in the side? Who would you have said?
Who should have been on my side, or just in general, whose name wasn't mentioned by the entire panel in general? Is that what you're saying?
Go up. No.
I don't know if you heard me. I don't know if you heard. I was saying, like, as in my choices, or the entire panel.
Yeah, no, anyone's choices, or your own choice. Yeah, no problem. Who would you think?
Okay.
And you were toying with 2 players.
Well, excuse me. If I was going to pick, it was difficult to pick because by doing a 4-4-2, it meant that I was going to have to leave out possibly 2 of the greatest wingers / inside forwards, or whatever you want to reference them as now, that I've ever seen, in Mane, in Salah. And that's, the dynamic 3. I mean, even the choice of leaving out Bobby was like, during the early parts of this era, Bobby was and is my favorite player, on this team. So of course I would always love to say that, like, I think Bobby made such a difference in this team, sometimes overlooked by others outside the fan base, but I think that Bobby was the linchpin between Mane and Salah, and I think he was so valuable to us, and such a legend in his own right, and could light up a room with a smile alone. So
yes,
so yeah. We're talking about like that. Yeah.
Have you seen Bobby's sister who looks like him? Bobby's got a younger sister who looks like him. She's dead nice looking as well. I was going to say compared.
Don't go on about this blimey. Talking football. Have we still got? Is Brian Fennell still there?
I'm still here.
Oh, Brian, I'm sorry.
No worries. No, I've just been taking notes. Just to jump in real quick about the manager, I was torn between Dalglish or Houllier. I was going to say Houllier was the one who brought us back from the wilderness, per se, after what the Roy Evans, Souness era, and sort of started laid the foundation for Rafa, so to build upon. But I'll go with Dalglish. Yeah, but definitely Paisley. Well, in fact, you mentioned that the I'm dating myself, but the 77 FA Cup was my first match ever, and that cemented my love for Liverpool. And last night, cried all the way home as a kid. So anyway, but that aside, I missed the first part of the show. So I'm sure someone mentioned Hippier. There is no defense back four without Hippier there. And okay, Hippier and Virgil. Okay. Okay, so did anyone mention?
I got pushed out. I wanted to play Hippier, but Lee made a point of saying that he didn't play right center back, so I had to pick a new one.
That's okay. It's okay. He's now. He'll play there now.
Right.
So yeah, I would say okay. Well, if Hippie was mentioned already, then the Kennedys. Anyone mention Alan and Ray Kennedy or no Toshak left before.
Toshak.
Highway. That was my guy growing up. So
Stevie,
I'm
yeah.
sure. Yep. And let's see who else.
Well, someone mentioned
Garcia or Beardsley. Those two guys.
Oh, Peter Beardsley.
Peter Beardsley and John Barnes. Unbelievable.
Oh, the three of them. Was it Aldridge, Barnes, and Beardsley?
Aldridge, Barnes,
phenomenal.
Peter Beardsley, Ray Houghton. Those were the best.
Well, when I asked, the lads, Ian McKay, who would the manager be, and I'm sorry, I'm late going on to you lads. Ian McKay says King Kenny. Now, the Anfield Roar says my manager is Del Grease, fantastic, or Fagan. Now, Fagan, in his first season, won a treble. He was the first manager to win a treble in the English league, and that's forgotten. And they all go on about Ferguson being the first, and he wasn't. It was him.
No,
it was that one.
Our treble would be better.
Darryl says Klopp. He says Klopp. Mark Stevens says Roy Evans.
No way.
With all due respect, the Fagan.
Thanks,
Beardsley squad. That was, come on, let's be honest. Not taking away from Fagan, but that was Paisley.
Bonkers says Paisley, and Anfield Roar says Bob Paisley is the only one with Fagan number 2 and Moran, the greatest team we've had.
Nice.
The greatest team we've had. And I think that Soulboy says Ronnie Moran number 2, no matter what, he'd be a number 2 besides the manager.
I miss Ronnie. I miss Ronnie.
About
Frank, you know what I miss about Ronnie? His little whistles. Remember his little whistles?
Yeah.
I miss hearing that every single time in the dugout.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Wow.
The Anfield says, Frank, Joe Fagan doesn't get enough credit. He doesn't. In Paisley either. He communicated and set the training regime Fagan underestimated as a coach. Yeah. He did 100%. Set the training regime, and he is underestimated, unfortunately. I'll tell you who else, one of the players, when you talk about underrated or hardly ever gets mentioned for that, underestimated. And this fella scored the greatest club goal I've ever seen in my entire life. And I had to pick 3 goals.
Mm-hmm.
And this fella came first and second. I had to pick 3 goals, first and second. And the third one was Jan Molby at Anfield. No one's seen it, but it was on a glaring tape.
Yeah.
Have you got it?
Yeah, no, I've seen it. They showed it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was absolutely amazing. But I'll tell you, my first 2 goals, and I'll go to you, JK, after I tell you mine, and I'll end with Brian. I'll go around again, then then Lee, then the 12th, and I'll end with Brian.
Frank, I've never done this before, but could I come off the stream early tonight? Finish up early problem. And leave you guys to speak.
But do you want to come off now?
Yeah. I'll take myself off, and I'll see you on Tuesday.
Yeah,
sorry, bro.
And I'll do the film show with you again on next Thursday, mate.
Okay, and do a couple of Lebanese ones. Okay. I'll see you later, Lee.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Take care, bro.
Nice to meet you. You take care, mate.
Take care, Lee, bro.
Take care, Tracy.
Get your hair cut. I said to him today, we were doing that, and he was doing his hair, and he had this little fringe going across. And I said, all you've got to do is get some black boot polish and just go like that. Put it down. Just go like that. And he went, "What do you mean?" I said, "It looked like Italy." He just giggled.
I swear.
I gotta be frank. I gotta be honest. He's brilliant. He's brilliant. I like him. I like. Him.
Lee's top energy.
He's
He's classic.
He's a
he killed me
lunatic.
today. He killed me.
He never stops. He was going on. I was trying to talk about films this morning.
Yeah.
And he was going on about something stupid, like getting on the bus or something. And bus conductors and all that. What are you talking about?
Frank,
Anyway.
I'll be honest with you, on streams like this, you need people like Lee. I'm telling you, it's the entertainment value.
He's got personality.
He's
That's
brilliant.
what I love
He's
about
brilliant.
Lee. He's not dull.
Trust me, Frank.
He's not dull.
Oh, he winds me up.
I know, Frank. Frank, just take it with a pinch of salt. He's brilliant. I'm telling you, he's brilliant. He's brilliant.
But I'm trying to get something in.
I know.
Just let him finish. Anyone finish. He won't let anyone finish. What I said.
Know, Frank. I know.
And he always, for ages he does. Anyway, I'll go to UJ. Who am I going to? I'll go to UJK.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what I was talking about. See what I mean? What he does to me. Do you mind if I leave? But anyway,
Frank, Frank, in situations like that, you just let him speak. Let him speak. He will calm down at the end. He will.
Yeah, but people are trying to, I know. They're trying to talk, trying to comment and everything. They're trying to comment, and that's what it's all about. But okay, I'm going to ask you, boys, and this is very serious, okay? And I'm going straight to you, JK, then you, the Foz, then I'm going to you, the 12th, I'm finishing with Brian. Richard Hughes. What do you think?
Wow. First impressions.
I was told something today. Go on.
But you can tell us first, bro.
What?
You can tell us.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, I'm asking you what you think of Richard Hughes.
Okay, just first impressions. Not a big fan because I don't really know a lot about him. But I think him and Edwards have got a sort of good relationship over the years.
Yeah.
And that's why probably Edwards has brought him in. I think also maybe that Edwards will be involved somehow with certain things and stuff, and maybe talk with him about a certain player, maybe just to give him the rubber stamp on a deal. I've seen some of the signings he's made for Bournemouth, for example, Ake, Colin Wilson, not bad. Their Kekets, their left back now, also looking pretty good. He's probably bought. He actually took Solanke and Ibe off us for big sort of money as well. So Liverpool, different mentality, bigger club, different funds, and different ambitions. So maybe he will step it up in that sort of way where he will get even better players.
Okay. Right, the Foz.
It's just like JK said, Frank. I don't know much about him, but it's a new regime at Liverpool Football Club. So if Marco Edwards is coming as the CEO and he's bringing Richard Hughes, people don't know about. There's a lot of things that people don't know about Richard Hughes. He's actually an ex-player. Used to play for Portsmouth, and and seems like that in the past. So. The thing that people are having issues with is because he was the sports director at Portsmouth, so they're trying to level his ability with that, which they shouldn't. Whatever club you go to, you be the same level as that. Do you get what I'm saying? So he's going to a top club. He's got the best, ex-sporting director next to him. He's going to teach him how to, recruit players, and I think there'll be, there'll be match made in heaven. And I want this regime to be, a long-term one, Frank. I don't want to be a short-term anymore. This one, learn from the past mistakes that we did with the previous one, and just move along with, this one and make sure it's a longevity one. So we don't, stop and start as we did with Jurgen Klopp, if you know what I mean, guys.
Okay. What about you, 12?
It's an interesting it's an interesting era that we're about to go into with these new signatures or signings or not signings, but like as in appointments that we have with Hughes, Richard Hughes, and with Edwards coming back. I say that because obviously Edwards wasn't going to come back as the sporting director. It's not a, you don't want to take that was a step back for him,
Exactly.
So I understood that he was definitely going to, want to have a higher role in with the club, but also it goes to the point of like what I was saying earlier about, the era of coaching and everything else that we're now experiencing. And, I don't know if a Klopp would work with a Edwards and a Hughes, considering that, it would be almost like 2 versus 1 in the room, as opposed to just, 1 versus 1 having dueling opinions. So it's certainly going to be interesting who we bring in. It's going to be interesting as to whether that coach is going to be a domineering figure in the room, that he's going to be able to get the players that he knows and wants to have, along with whatever the vision is of Edwards and Hughes. But I'm optimistic, and I'm definitely, obviously hopeful for the best. So I'm pretty excited to see what turns out.
Okay. What about you, Brian?
Unlike everyone here, I don't know much about him, about Hughes. So except Bournemouth, where you're going to Bournemouth again. They're going to anyway. I don't know much about him, so I think it could be a good move. I think overall, bringing Edwards back and bringing the Hughes in is a great move for the club. One of my biggest, what's so funny with it? Anyway, one of my biggest contentions with the club in the past has always been the disconnect between, in football recruitment between scouting and acquisition of said player. So it's great that this streamlines the process. This makes it more efficient and it makes things better for the club overall. I'm all for it.
Okay. No, I think that's super cool. Right. I'll just go and then I'll tell you something.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me one name, that's all. And I'll start with you again, and I'll just go around the same. I'll start with you, JK, then you, Foz, then you, 12th, and ends with Brian. Who would you like to see as our next manager? JK.
Alonso. Yeah.
Foz.
We discussed it already, myself and
No,
you, Frank.
No,
yeah.
just
No. I'm talking about in my show. Like we discussed it about, and I said, when Shankly moved, we got Paisley in. You know what I mean? So Paisley, ex-player, understands Liverpool way, and this is how I see when Alonso comes in as well. So it's match made in heaven. Like if you look at the Klopp era, we should have won more titles, but the next step could get us even further with Xabi Alonso coming, in the hot seat. So this is what I want now. I've been sold to Xabi Alonso, so this is Xabi Alonso. So this is the manager I want next.
Okay, first, thank you. What about you, 12?
I would go with Alonso as well. I mean, what he's doing in the Bundesliga right now is incredible. He's got connections, obviously, direct links to the club. His kids are pretty much Scousers themselves. So, I think that's important. I think that, he understands the culture. He understands the fan base. He understands all the different things that are important, because realistically, you have to have a connection to the fan base for it to actually work, in my opinion. And it's an important reason why I think Klopp did work for us. So I would choose Alonso.
Excellent stuff. What about you, Brian? Would you
Alonso.
like to say?
Alonso. There's no other choice. Alonso.
Okay, so we all agree on Alonso.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's 100% just there. 100% all along Alonso. Okay. Now, I've said that the likes of Hughes, Edwards, it's jobs for the boys. And I don't know whether I said it on last night, or I don't know when I said it, but I said, if this is jobs for the boys, I don't know whose bloody show it was on. If it's jobs for the boys, they're going to pick another fella for the backroom staff, a mate. And he has done, another fella from Bournemouth. Okay? And do you know the great admirers of? And the price of him from there has gone right down to like third or second favourite. And do you know who that is? So I'll tell you who it is.
Mm-hmm.
De Zerbi.
Mm.
And their mates with him.
I heard that, yeah.
And it's up to Edwards. It's up to the other fella, Hughes, because he tried to get him for their Bournemouth. And this other lads, you know, who's coming in. You know what I mean? Now, they've gone from... Now, you've got to think about this. They've gone from Portsmouth to Bournemouth. Liverpool are exceptional. Liverpool are at a totally different level than those two clubs. Totally different. The only person who knows about Liverpool is Edwards. He's the only one who knows about Liverpool.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be hands-on with Liverpool. Did you know that? He's not going to be hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
And he's learning at the same time, Richard Hughes out of control here at Liverpool. Right?
Yeah.
He's going to, you know, just, do that, you know, and then get off over to America or somewhere. I don't know what he's going to do because he's taking over all the sports and thing that FSG own. And this is the problem I've got. I didn't want him back. I'm being honest. I did not want Edwards back because that's why Klopp left. I was told last summer, I said this on your show, I think, I don't know whether it was. I don't know whether it said. But I was told last summer, and I was told, don't say anything on your podcast or whatever. Don't say it on any other show. Now I can. I was told that, and you've always got to go about the timeline. And when he came out in the November, supposedly, and said, I'm leaving, you know, and it came out in the papers and everything else, all these other things, saying, well, the players only found out this morning as the fans did. Right? That was a big lie.
100%.
That was a big lie because, the players, you know, only got told. That was a big lie because it goes back. And Pep Linders slipped up last week or this week, earlier this week. I'm not quite too sure. When he said, we knew last summer that he was leaving because he was told. You look at that timeline from last summer. Now, I was told this last summer and I never said anything. But you can now because we all know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last summer, you had the owners. You had the owners in contact with Edwards to come back.
Yeah.
Now, they had a massive falling out, Edwards and Klopp. Mm-hmm. Massive it was. It wasn't just, they behave yourself. It was a massive falling out. It was phone and slamming it down. That's what it was. That's what it was. That's what kind of a falling out it was. Bang down. So it was a bad. Now, don't forget, you know, what you get is a lot of spin. And the spin is coming from, obviously, it's the owners. The spin's always comes from the owners to try to calm things down.
Yeah. But
blame others, like Luis Suarez, for example. Luis Suarez begged that I don't like mentioning the Irishman's name, hate him. And 8 is not in my vocabulary, but that man I do. That Irishman, who was Liverpool's manager. And he begged, Suarez begged the Irishman, let me stay another season so I can play for Liverpool in the Champions League. He said, no, you're going. Now, he'd always tried to be one, you know, I'm the manager of Liverpool. Remember Real Madrid at the Bernabeu?
Mm-hmm.
And he kept Steven Gerrard on the bench.
Stupid.
That was a being a swan song. And Steven goes mad over that. That would have been the last time he played for Liverpool in a red shirt from a little kid at the academy. And he wouldn't allow him to play in the swan song at the Bernabeu to one of our greatest European rivals, Real Madrid. Kept him on the bench. So anyway, the likes of the Irishman, you know, the things go on. The things go on. And what you've got now is this big bust up between Klopp and the other fella, Edwards. And that's why Klopp is leaving.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Spot on.
Nothing else. Now, I'm going to say to you, Brian, I'm going to go around again. Who would you rather see? You, Brian, then you, 12, then you, Foz, then you, JK. Who would you rather see at Anfield? Jurgen Klopp or Edwards? Just one of them. Who'd you rather see?
Brutal.
Is that Brian there? Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just pondering that one. Well, I'll go Klopp.
Okay. 12th. Edwards or Klopp?
That's a loaded question.
Right.
Jeez. I Klopp, you know, like Klopp's very important. I would say Klopp, I would certainly choose if I could have another 5 years or another 10 years. I'd say I'd rather see Klopp at that helm rather than worry about Edwards at that helm. So I'd say Klopp.
Okay. And before I go to you, Foz, I'm going to ask the people who are looking in, will you please press the like and subscribe? You know, just subscribe to the channel, please. Get the algorithm out there because YouTube unsubscribe people.
Yes.
I should have a lot more than what I have. I really have, because I've been told by loads of people. I subscribe, Frank, and you know it's coming up because they try to get on the channel. You see.
Yeah.
So anyway, please subscribe and please like because you get the algorithm out there, and it's better for the channel. It's for you as well because you know I try to, you know, get the panel to discuss what you have been saying and things, but tonight's been a little bit different anyway because we've been picking a team and you know been trying to bring you all in what your team would be, you know, what your favorite goalkeeper is, or your best goalkeeper and whatever. And anyway, so it's up to you, Foz. Who would you rather see to stay at Anfield, to be at Anfield? It's either Klopp or Edwards.
Frank, you and I don't know how old the rest of the obviously panel here. I think Brian is old enough as well. We waited 30 years to experience this manager, and we don't want to wait another 30 years to wait for another manager. Sport directors come and go in every football club, but the manager is the most important person in the football club. If you look at all the best clubs in the world, you look at AC Milan, you look at Man United, you look at all the best teams, when those important managers leave their club, the club is never the same again.
Yes.
Because they run everything. They, you know what I mean? They're the face of the club. No player power, nothing. And this is what we're going to miss from Klopp, guys. Mark my words. It's going to be difficult to replace Klopp. You know, like I said to you, Frank, before, the next manager is always a downgrade. It's not an upgrade. So
Brilliant.
just watch this. Just watch this space.
Okay, because before I go to JK, I'll tell you what it's like. It's like not replacing a player. And we scream out, you know, that certain players haven't been replaced. Now, I have always admired with great intensity Javier Mascherano. I thought he was one of the greatest of all defensive midfielders I've ever seen. He was unbelievable. He was an incredible player. And we never ever replaced him until we brought in, believe it or not, Enzo. Enzo, think about it.
Yeah.
All those years. Just think about that. But anyway, and it's just like that, you see. And, you know, we have missed a DM. And Enzo, especially last season, because the legs went of everybody, all the midfield. And we missed somebody like him last season. And that's why we finished in the Europa League rather than the Champions League. Because of the midfield now we've got, which is absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to JK. Who would you rather see there, Klopp or Edwards?
I've never really been a big fan of Edwards because of the way he just left, and he had some stress with Klopp. And I think Klopp's sort of big uncle to us guys, you know. If you mess with Klopp, none of us are going to like you. But I feel that without Klopp, Edwards would not been successful. But I think would Klopp been as successful as if Edwards didn't do what he did with the signings? So they sort of helped each other out in that way. But for me, 100% Klopp. I think this new era of football is very... They take a lot away from the manager to make decisions, you know. For me, football should be an eye thing first. Stats have become such a major thing in football now. Of course, stats work. But I think Klopp's old school as well, a little bit, where he'd probably go on a Sunday league game and check a guy out and see if he's good enough, you know, like the old days where a scout would go and watch a guy play. But now you can get information from a guy in South America who's plays for a second division team, how many tackles he makes in a game. So it's much easier to get information about guys instead of going looking at them play. And I think that maybe that was why Klopp had a bit of an issue with Edwards. But I just didn't like the way he just got up and left. And the way FSG have sort of, as soon as Klopp said he's going, they've run back to him. It's a bit embarrassing. And that's why I'm a bit annoyed in the way we've handled all this sort of in the last few months with the Klopp thing, then the Edwards sort of coming back, showing that, yeah, Klopp and Edwards had stress. I think they could have waited until the end of the season, did all their homework behind the scenes of who they're going to put in as a sporting director and Edwards coming in as CEO. So for me, I think it's just little bit embarrassing for me on Klopp's side, where he has an argument with a guy, he disappears, Klopp says he's going, and this guy pops up again. Embarrassing.
Yeah, and that's why he's leaving. Well, he's leaving also because of the Jude Bellingham saga. Because he felt humiliated in front of, this is Jurgen Klopp, he felt humiliated in front of the Bellingham family because they were here. And he was saying, you know, he's going, and Jude wanted to come here. Jude's a big Liverpool fan. And they just turned around to him and said, no, he's not coming because we haven't got the money and all this. You'll be able to get other players, you know, bring more players in and all this nonsense. And, you know, who is Klopp being compared with? What other manager has he been compared with?
Shankly.
Yes. And this fella, Marios Manzos, he wrote this book. I went down to Waterstones and he said, will you come down and give a talk? you know, and there was all people there as well, you know, so little podium, sat there and gave this talk about, you know, whatever. And this, because what this says here, the opening, why Jurgen Klopp was a perfect fit for Liverpool. And that's a cracker, that. It really is. And he was a perfect fit because he was the next best thing to Bill Shankly. He embraced the fans. I'm not saying Bob Paisley didn't embrace the fans. He loved our fans, or anybody else for that matter. The only two managers who didn't embrace us was the Irishman and Roy Hodgson. Just never had a clue about them. And, you know, so everyone has embraced the fans, but not like Shankly and not like Jurgen Klopp. So if you want my opinion, who would I rather have? Klopp any day.
Any day.
Because I think Klopp would have signed another contract, which, you know, he was going to anyway. And that would have been a 5-year one.
Oh, yes.
And I think he was retired here or gone on to manage at a later age, you know, when he was around 61, 62, the national side, the German national side. So he would have stayed here a few years more. But now, Klopp's like me, you never go back, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Klopp's like me, and that's my philosophy, you know. If someone does you any harm, you just say, well, okay, that's the end of you. Because I've done that to a few people, you know, just gone, you done me harm, right? Bang, gone. You've gone forever. And I think that's, Jurgen loves the club. Jurgen loves the fans. Jurgen loves the city. That's why he embraced it. His wife loves the city.
It hurts, man.
His kids love the city. But the only manager to take over who knows Liverpool inside out to take over as manager is Xabi Alonso. Now, I don't know whether I've told you this, but a couple of lads who I know who wake up at Anfield, they used to see him and whatever, and even a couple of mates, you know, seeing him, Xabi, at Anfield. And one of the lads who knew thought that he was coming in a role of some capacity. And he said, well, what are you doing here? You're going in the back room? He said, no. He said, I'm just a Liverpool supporter. I love Liverpool and I come to see them when I can. And this is while he was playing for both Bayern and Real. You know, because they have winter breaks and everything else. So when he has a winter break, you know, he came over and looked at Liverpool because he's a supporter.
Yes,
and who better? And his child born here, little Scouser, and kept asking his dad, when are we going back to Liverpool? See what I mean?
Yeah.
So if anyone knows anything about Liverpool and the fans and the stadium and the club itself, it's him. It's Xabi. And he should be the number one target. Yet, as I said, these two people who, the mates of Edwards, they like this De Zerbi because they tried to get him for Bournemouth. Think about it.
He hasn't done a great job. For me, Brighton have gone a worse team. I think under Potter they look better. Played better football, scored more goals, better defensively. This De Zerbi geezer. Okay, you get rid of Casado and McAllister, your main guys. It's going to hurt. So we've got to look at it in that way as well. I think 12th man has to leave, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I do.
And I'll see you next week. I'll see you next week. Well, what I'll do, I'll just finish the show now. Fuzz. Oh, thank you. Grazie mille. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Will you come on again?
Anytime you invite me, I'll be here, mate. Anytime I'm here.
Give us a smile. Give us a smile.
No.
Look at that. See, he's got
I don't want
Bobby
a Firmino.
Firmino. No wonder
No.
he loves Bobby
No, it's good to
Firmino.
smile.
No wonder he's got Bobby Firmino's teeth. First of all,
I appreciate that, Frank. Thanks for inviting me, JK, as well, and Frank. Thank you very much.
oh,
I
excellent.
really
So we'll
enjoyed
see you
this.
next week then.
Safe,
100%,
bro.
I'll be here.
Absolutely. 12th. See you next week.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thank you for the invite. Big up to the chat. Up the Reds, of course. And yeah, see you next week.
I'll put that link
Oh,
in
and
the chat as
also
well.
we got big up US men's national team too. They're about to start in another 20 minutes. They got a big we're going up against the Reggae Boys of Jamaica. So should be a good game.
Reggae Boys.
Reggae Boys of Jamaica. That's what we face today to go to the final. So it's important matchup.
Okay.
And that's a good ending, isn't it? One love and one love for Liverpool. How about that?
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
There you
Frank's
go.
never
Go,
ring his
Frank.
Such poetic
Yeah, Reggae
character.
Frank.
Nice one, Frank.
Nice one, mate.
JK, thank you.
No worries, bro.
JK.
Good show.
And my mates, my very good mate over there in Seattle, the one and only Brian Fennell, lovely
Big up,
fella.
Brian.
And Brian, thank you for coming out. Hope to see you next week as well with the lads, these lovely lads, next Thursday. Is that okay?
I'll try to make it. Yeah, I'll try to make it next Thursday. Cheers.
Excellent. You're sitting in your car, aren't you?
No. I'm sitting at home. No.
I that's why you were sitting in your car.
I'm at home, but the camera's off today. But well, maybe next week I'll grace your presence with full sound and vision. Yeah.
Do you know what, lads? He's the Barry White of the airwaves, you know. The voice on. Anyway. Listen, chat, thank you so much for joining these wonderful, wonderful people. Thank you so much. Sorry that I couldn't get into all your comments and that, but you just so thank you so much. The lads are made up with you. I'm made up with you. And I'll see you all on Tuesday. I'll see you on Tuesday for the next pod. And also, if you're a history buff, I'll see you all on Monday for my history show. Thank you so much, people. Love you all. Ci vediamo. Ciao. Prossimo settimane. Ciao, Bella.
Whatever he said, I agree.
Thank you.
Those subtitles.